At one point, Jamaica owed more money than its entire economy could produce. The debt was crushing, accounting for 144% of the island's gross domestic product, the total value of all goods and services produced within a country's borders in a specific period, typically a year. But today, that figure has been cut in half. Sounds like we are in the clear, right? Not quite, because what's rarely talked about is who we owe now. And that's the real story, the silent truth. The debt is still more than $2.4 trillion. And whether we know it or not, we are still living under its shadow. This is Jamaica's debt secret. Who really owns our future? The shadow we live under. In 2012, Jamaica's debt-to-GDP ratio reached 144%. That meant we owed more money than the entire economy produced in a year. It wasn't just a financial issue, it was a national crisis. Hospitals faced shortages. Schools operated without enough resources. Roads went unrepaired. For many, migration felt like the only option. The government had to make hard choices, cut spending, raise taxes, and delay progress. But most Jamaicans didn't see the debt. They felt it. In every pothole, every crowded clinic, every unfunded dream. The debt sat in the background, quietly shaping our lives. Fast forward to 2025, and we have reduced that figure to 68.7%. A victory, yes, but not a full escape. Because while the numbers look better, the shadow hasn't disappeared. The question now is no longer, how much do we owe? It's to whom? And what does owing them mean for Jamaica's future freedom? Breaking it down, who we owe? Jamaica's current debt stands at 2.4 trillion Jamaican dollars. That massive figure is split between domestic and external lenders. Approximately 41% of our debt is owed to Jamaican institutions, including commercial banks, insurance companies, pension funds, and securities dealers. These are the same institutions that manage our life savings, investments, and retirements. For example, 63% of life insurers' investments are in government bonds. The remaining 59% is owed to external parties, including multilateral lenders such as the International Monetary Fund and World Bank, foreign governments, and global bondholders. And here's the catch. Over 94% of that external debt is in US dollars. So every time the Jamaican dollar weakens, our repayment burden grows. This structure means Jamaica is financially exposed both at home and abroad. If the government struggles to pay, the impact could hit our local banks and insurance systems hard. The health of our debt is tied to the health of our institutions, and that affects every Jamaican. The danger of owing yourself. That might sound comforting, at least we owe our own, but it's more complicated than that. If the government delays payments or loses investor confidence, your pension fund could be affected. Your insurance payout could be delayed. Your bank could face instability. It's called the sovereign financial nexus, a situation where the financial health of the country and the financial health of its banks are glued together. If one falls, both fall. And in Jamaica, that bond is tighter than ever. This is why financial discipline isn't just for headlines, it's survival. The foreign picture. Let's talk about that $8.3 billion in external debt. Roughly $5 billion of that is owed to private bondholders on the international market. These investors don't have personal ties to Jamaica. They care about one thing: getting paid. The rest is split between multilateral institutions such as the IMF, World Bank, and IDB, to which we owe $2.8 billion, and bilateral partners such as the governments of China and Japan, to which we owe $617 million. Remember this killer stat: over 94% of Jamaica's external debt is in US dollars. So, if the Jamaican dollar weakens, the cost of repaying our debt jumps instantly. In one swing of the exchange rate, we could owe billions more overnight. How did we escape collapse? Jamaica's debt journey didn't improve by luck. It improved by pain, policy, and partnership. First came the Fiscal Responsibility Framework, laws that forced the government to limit spending and aim for specific debt targets. Then came primary surpluses, meaning we consistently earned more than we spent, excluding interest payments. Next came the National Debt Exchange in 2013. Jamaica asked bondholders to accept lower interest and longer maturities, and they agreed. Why? Because confidence was growing. Because Jamaica was showing signs of fiscal maturity. Then there was the Economic Program Oversight Committee. This non-partisan group brought transparency. They showed Jamaicans where the money was going. They gave the public a say. Finally, in 2023, Jamaica launched its Fiscal Commission, a permanent watchdog to keep future governments in check. Can we ever pay it all? Let's be real. Most countries never fully pay off their debt. They just manage it, refinance it, roll it over. But Jamaica is aiming higher. In 2025-2026, we are scheduled to spend 162 billion Jamaican dollars on debt servicing, which is approximately 16% of all government spending. That's down from over 30% a few years ago. Thanks to economic stability, the interest rates are lower, inflation is under control, and foreign reserves are stronger. But the road is narrow, and one bad year, a storm, a shock, a spike in oil prices can set us back. Bonus facts. Fact 1. Jamaica once ranked among the world's most indebted countries. Today, we serve as a case study in fiscal reform, used by the International Monetary Fund and World Bank to inspire other nations. Fact 2. Over 90% of Jamaica's external debt is in US dollars, leaving the country extremely sensitive to currency fluctuations. Fact 3. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, Jamaica never defaulted on its debt. We adjusted the target but stayed the course. Fact 4. In 2024, Fitch Ratings upgraded Jamaica to BB-, the highest in nearly 2 decades, signaling real progress and global confidence. The emotional price of progress. This story isn't just economics, it's personal. It's the mother who skipped meals so her child could eat during inflation hikes, the nurse who went years without a raise, the student whose school roof still leaks because the funds weren't there to accommodate repairs. Jamaicans have carried this burden, quietly, faithfully, and what we've gained is priceless: financial sovereignty. We're not completely free yet, but we're no longer begging for bailouts. We have direction, we have dignity, and we have the power to choose our future. If you care about Jamaica's future, if you believe we've come too far to go back, if you know someone who needs to hear this story, hit that subscribe button, share this video, join us on this journey. This is Impacting Jamaica, and we're just getting started. Let's do it together.